Get ready for a medical detective story. But, this time, the big reveal isn't about a person, it's about a breakthrough in AI, and it comes with a twist that could honestly change medicine as we know it.
So, picture this. An expert doctor is reading a super complex medical diagnosis, and this is their comment. They're basically saying, wow, this is so dense and complicated, there is no way a real human doctor wrote this. It's just gotta be an AI.
And that, right there, is the big mystery we're diving into. Was that crazy verbose analysis actually written by a machine or a person? Let me tell you, the answer is not what you'd expect, and it signals a massive shift for artificial intelligence in medicine.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a huge deal, we first have to understand what is basically the ultimate test for a doctor's brain, a challenge that's been the gold standard for more than 100 years.
It all comes down to these things called clinico-pathological conferences, or CPCs for short. Think of them as the Mount Everest of medical diagnosis. They're these legendary, incredibly tough cases published in the New England Journal of Medicine, and they are notorious for being packed with red herrings and distractions, designed to push an expert's reasoning to the absolute limit.
And this isn't some new thing. The CPCs were made official all the way back in 1923. And get this, by the 1950s, the pioneers of computing were already dreaming about an AI that could crack these cases. So for generations, this has been the ultimate benchmark for both humans and machines. And now, finally, that test has actually happened.
But before any AI could even think about taking on the CPCs, it had to solve this really fundamental problem that's held back medical AI for years. And it all boils down to a single word: trust.
This visual here just breaks it down perfectly. A traditional AI is what we call a black box. You put patient data in, and it spits an answer out. But what happens in the middle? That's a total mystery. A human expert, though, they give you the answer plus their step-by-step logic. And in medicine, an answer without the why is pretty much useless. Doctors simply can't trust what they don't understand.
So to crack open that black box, a team of researchers at Harvard Medical School built an AI discussant that wasn't just designed to diagnose, but to reason. And they named it Dr. Cabot, a little nod to the doctor who started the CPCs in the first place.
Now here's what makes Dr. Cabot so special. Its core is built on OpenAI's advanced O3 reasoning model. But then, it was trained on this massive brain of more than 7,000 historical CPCs. This taught it how to mimic the unique, narrative style that human experts use. So it doesn't just give you an answer, it tells you the whole story of how it got there. It even creates full video presentations, complete with human-like ums and uhs. Wild, right?
Okay, so all of this builds to the ultimate showdown. With this new reasoning AI, researchers could finally set up a groundbreaking experiment to pit machine against man on medicine's toughest stage. For the first time ever, the New England Journal of Medicine published a CPC discussion from Dr. Cabot, right alongside one from a human expert, and we're talking a guy described as a real, modern Dr. House. Then they took both write-ups and gave them to a panel of expert doctors, but they didn't tell them who wrote which. The big question was really simple. Could these top-tier physicians actually tell the difference between the AI's reasoning and the humans? And the answer was a massive, resounding no. Nearly 3 out of 4 times, the doctors got it wrong. And remember that quote from the beginning about the text being crazy verbose? Well, that was a doctor describing the human's work because they were totally convinced it had to be the AI. They were completely fooled.
But hang on, because this is where it gets even crazier. They also asked the doctors to rate the quality of the two explanations. And consistently, across the board, the physicians scored Dr. Cabot's explanation more favorably than the human experts, from overall quality to how well it justified its logic. The AI wasn't just indistinguishable. In their blinded opinion, it was actually better.
Now, before we all get carried away, it is super important to add some nuance here. Dr. Cabot's performance was absolutely stunning, but the research is also very clear that AI is not some perfect diagnostician, at least not yet.
The researchers pointed out several key areas where today's AI models still have a ways to go. They have a hard time interpreting images like X-rays and pathology slides directly. They struggle to pull up the most relevant medical studies without very specific prompts, and they're not great at combining different kinds of data, like text and images, all together. And this data really shows that performance gap.
When it was working with just text, the O3 model got the right diagnosis in its top 10 guesses about 84% of the time. Pretty good. But when it had to rely only on images with no text to guide it, that accuracy totally plummeted to just 40%. It's a brilliant reasoning machine, but its senses are still developing.
So, what does this all mean for the future of medicine? Well, the researchers are very clear about this. The goal here is not replacement. It's about partnership.
I just love this quote from the study because it absolutely nails the shift we're seeing. AI is evolving from this mysterious black box oracle that just gives you answers into a transparent cognitive partner that can actually explain its thinking and work together with a human doctor. It's all about building trust through transparency.
And the immediate impact of this is just huge. For medical students, it's like having an infinitely patient expert you can learn from 24/7. For researchers, it's a tool that can analyze medical literature at superhuman speeds. And for doctors on the front lines, it's a powerful second opinion that can challenge their assumptions and help them avoid cognitive bias, which ultimately leads to better care for patients.
So we'll end with this thought. For 100 years, the CPC was the ultimate test of human expertise. And now, an AI hasn't just met that benchmark, but in some ways, it's actually surpassed it. If a machine can reason and explain itself this well, it forces us to ask a really profound question about our future. What does it truly mean to be an expert?